Yo, we're back. It's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk. Good morning, everybody.
And it's Pilgrim from the correct side of the Atlantic and this has been 3 weeks in the making, a Guido mug of the original style with a free stick of Cornwall Candy Rock for all of you. If you buy a mug, you get a stick of Candy Rock from Cornwall. There you go. Spend your dollars now.
So that reminds me, everybody here wants English candy. We got a couple expats, we've got friends, people who've been stationed there, people who just like it. We brought back, I am not kidding you, a 30-pound bag of candy that we drug through the frickin' customs. We drug through the airports. You know, it was just an open bag, and it's just completely full of candy. You know, the last time we went 4 years ago, we did the same thing, and we left it on the plane.
Oh man!
And we got about halfway down terminal, and it's crap, and we went back to get it, and we asked the people, like, "Hey, can you go? There's a bag of candy on there." They're back there, like, it's not there. They stole it.
Yeah, cleaners.
The cleaners had stolen it that fast. So I'm like, So we kept an eye on it, and we brought this 30-pound frickin' bag of candy back to dole out to people. You know, minstrels.
Yeah.
Pastels.
Yeah.
Chocolate bars of various kinds that, you know.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why English candy is so nice is it's 99.9% sugar.
Dude, it was absolutely
just pure sugar.
Absolutely awesome. Stickler, thanks for the resub, man. Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. This morning we are back, as you can see, hello Bitwise, with a coffee talk, and I had a good trip. Good trip, yeah.
Long flight, I guess.
It is. It's 7.5 there out of Atlanta to Manchester, and because of winds, it's about 8.5 on the way back. So it's about 3 movies. Right. Now, I went Virgin Atlantic codeshare with Delta, and what I'll say is Virgin Atlantic's crew, I call them stewardesses. They don't like that, but flight attendants, right. Are top notch, man. Great attitudes. Ooh. You know, just friendly. Get the job done. There's no surliness. Unlike Delta.
Ooh. Yeah, the trouble is, a lot of the internal flights, it's a daily grind job for those people, whereas the transatlantic flights, it's a little bit more glamorous, I guess. Not glamorous, but
I do find that. Yeah,
special.
I do find the long haul crews are generally happier, and maybe that's the reason. Yeah, that could exactly be a lot of the reason right there.
Yeah.
But what I did not like about Virgin Atlantic, Mr. Branson, is because I'm cheap and I bought the frickin' crappy seats. Holy crap! There is no legroom in these things. None.
Oh really? Is it that tight? Even on a transatlantic?
Oh yeah. 4 years ago, my son was shorter than I am, but now he's 6'3", working on 6'4". You know, he's all freaking legs and arms, and he was super miserable because there was actually he couldn't actually sit there. He actually had to kind of had his feet underneath. You know?
Oh man, for 7 hours, that was crippling, isn't it?
Freaking brutal, man. So
what's it like being over 6 foot? I'd really like to know. Is it quite rarefied air up there? Do you need oxygen?
It is. Yeah, it's where the superior folk live. You know what I mean? It's like. You live on the hill, you know, the rich people live on the hill, the elites live on the hill, and all you short hobbit folk are down at the bottom.
Yeah. All us mouth breathers are down the bottom, aren't we?
And I will say in that case, it's not that great.
Is it not?
Not when you're sitting in Virgin Atlantic's cattle seat.
Oh, dear.
Ugh.
Wow.
I need to.
I had another subscription.
Yeah, thanks. Just around midnight. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. You know, I should have bought the good seat, right? But of course, it was so expensive, even with the cheap ones.
Yeah, it's mad though, isn't it? The cost currently is crazy for anything like that. Vacations.
But we did talk about it. It was nice. The exchange rate was nice. I mean, for us, that was as good as it got for us. Even though prices are up all around. And I didn't mention it while we were discussing it, but I did. I got food poisoning in Liverpool.
Oh, what did you eat?
I
Shellfish.
Well, we went to a tapas place, which may be a mistake in England.
There you go.
But it was at Liverpool 1 where all the tourists are, and we didn't go the day before. I'm like, ooh, I kind of fancy that. Let's go check it out. Because my daughter actually went over to Spain, and I was super jealous. She kept sending me pictures. Her friend was over there, so she flew EasyJet. Yeah, she took EasyJet to Spain and back to Barcelona and back for like a three-day mini trip in amongst our trip to see her friend.
Cool.
And she kept sending me freaking pictures of all this Spanish tapas, and I was so jealous. And so I saw that place, in Liverpool. I'm like, well, I know it's not Spain, but we're gonna go have tapas down at Liverpool 1. I think it was the chorizo and egg thing that I got because the rest of the family didn't touch it. My wife had one piece of chorizo, right, and I think it was the eggs.
Yeah. That would be it. That'd be dodgy English eggs, mate. That's what it is,
bro. I have not thrown up since 1993. I just don't. I have a my family's had things like that in the past, and I didn't feel great. And you have the other direction, not don't do well. But as far as throwing up, holy crap, dude.
Wow, man, it sounds bad. Sounds really bad, especially with the heat. When we had the heat over here, you must have been dehydrated to buggery.
It was thankfully. My wife said that she said, it's really good. This is 2 days past that heat wave because the misery you'd have been in with the heat and that going. I'm like, because it was it was cool outside, so at least I could kind of stick my head out the window and get some cool air, And then they just carried on. They just carried on. They're going out. They're having fun. They went down to Mr. Lee's or whatever it is that's down at Parkgate, the nice Chinese place there. They went down and had a nice Chinese. And I'm like,
well, they're on vacation. They don't care about you.
Yeah, you're just sick in bed. Why don't you just go lay up there, you loser?
We don't need you. Just give us your wallet.
I was talking about the bag of candy. I forgot about this one as well. We were coming back and we were in Manchester. You guys do it a little different, right? At least in Manchester. You get checked in, you go through security, and then you kind of have this holding pen area where all the shops are. And then when your flight's announced, then you move out to the actual flight. There's no real stores or anything out by your gates. They're all in one central location. At least that's the way Manchester is set up. So we're standing around there.
The London airport.
Yeah. So we're standing around there watching it because it's says, hey, well, it'll be announced at 9:05 or whatever the time the flight was.
Okay.
We're standing there looking at it. We'd come through. We got a coffee and we're milling about smartly, figuring out where we're going to go sit and what's going on. And this lady runs up and with a French accent, and she comes up to us and looks at us like she wants something. She says, France, 9:00 in a French accent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, France? I'm like, okay, well, what flight? She's like, France, 9:00. She knew no English basically, other than that.
Okay.
So I look up and I go, there's a couple places in France really that people are flying to, and I go, Paris? She goes, France, 9:00. I'm like, well, the only one at 9 is Paris. So I'm like, okay, well, it's gate A27 or 17 or I think it was 27. It's down there, and she's like, France, 9:00. I'm like, shit. So I grab her. We start walking with her. And I'm looking at my watch going, it is 8:55, and it says an 11-minute walk. And the 9:00 is the departure, not the boarding time.
Right, okay, right? So they're already boarded?
So they're boarding, and it says last call on it, So we're moving, and she's not moving very fast. And so I grab her bag. My son came with me, and I don't know why. I told my wife and daughter to stay there. My son came with the bag of candy in his hand. So he's got 30 pounds in one hand. I don't know why he didn't leave it with the girls.
No, because they'd eat it.
Yeah, so we're moving along smartly. I grab her one bag she's holding. She's kind of carrying the other one, and then I'm like, we got to go faster. So I start moving faster. My son then grabs her luggage. So now he's got 30 pounds of candy in one hand and her luggage in the other. And we're doing the O.J. Simpson with the French lady that doesn't speak English, all the way down to A27. So it's a long walk down some stairs and all the way down there. Right. Take a left. And I look at him like, mother effer. 27 is almost the last one. Like, of course.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would be, because that's French. That's where all the French go. Right,
so we run down there, and then I found the only other two words she knew was God bless, which she said about 800 times. And there was only 2 people left in line. She slides in the back, and then onto the airplane she goes.
Wow.
Like, okay. So that's a big walk, right, all the way down there.
Yeah.
I turn around, and my wife and daughter are coming down the thing. I go, why are you following us? And do you think we left out of A?
No, you didn't.
No, it was the other one.
Where was it?
Oh, yeah, B. Yeah, no, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, other side. So we had to walk all the way back. Like, holy crap, man.
It was a good trip, wasn't it? It was full of fun. Fun things to do.
C Playa says, flies for business. Just had 3 bags to check. Said, his bag go New Orleans. This is a joke. And third to Chicago, the gate agent rolled her eyes and said, we can't do that. I said, why not? You did it last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's the case, isn't it? Yeah, when in England does the Spanish, of course you do, Wayne. We like the Spanish. They've got good food. They only work 2 hours in the morning. They take 3 hours off for lunch and work another 2 hours in the afternoon. We need that over here in the UK.
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot in. Grumpy Old Man, nice to see Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis back together again. Yeah, everybody's in Stickler, just around Madline. Look at this lot. Wayne. Who else we got?
Hold on. I was trying to sneak attack, but for some reason the title is still good. What?
You can no longer enter the raffle. What raffle?
Take that. I was trying to sneak attack. What? Oh,
it's a Styles giveaway raffle.
It's not a Styles giveaway. Now the surprise is gone.
Oh. Caribbean in February on a cruise ship. Yes.
If I wasn't screwing up, then it wouldn't be coffee talk.
No, it wouldn't be coffee talk, would it?
All right, fellas.
It just went too well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did. All right, fellas. We do have a 2,000 gold giveaway. 2,000 gold, and Pilgrim has generously donated 15,000 gold. So we're gonna have a 2, a 3, and then finish with a 10. But we'll kick it off with a 2 for the early adopters here. By the way, guys, thanks for coming. It's good to see everybody. It was a great vacation. We got Stickler, Wayne, C Playa, Randall, just around midnight. Who else we got? Grumpy Old Man's in the house. Gator, hello Gator. Who else? Am I missing anybody else? Bitwise is here.
Mel Deeth is in. Yeah.
Mel Deeth is here. 8th Hussers. And I'm sorry if I missed anybody else. So welcome. It's good to be back, man. It was a good trip. Those are just some of the stories. We'll get to the rest of them as we go.
Yeah.
Channel news.
I've got one for you.
For yours.
We'll leave that till later.
Oh yeah, for your vacation.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so funny. You'll wet your pants.
Awesome. Next stream, I think Friday. I have an appointment in the morning, a couple hours away, and then I'm going to try to rage back and do some afternoon streaming. No promises. We'll see. My schedule's a bit open this week, so I might be able to sneak a few more in. Hey guys, I need some help. I need a better name for the Short Tactics series. Now, I came up with one.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
What did I say the D was for? I knew I was going to forget that.
Can't remember now. I forgot.
Discussion. So what I came up with was STD, Short Tactic Discussion.
That is so bad.
So help me.
You want to watch Guido with his STD? No.
Bring in the STDs. Giving STDs now.
For free. You get them for free on this channel.
So as you can see, I am in desperate need of a decent name. So I like Guido. Okay, I'm going to write these down. Guido's Maxims. That's not bad.
That's fine, isn't it?
All right. This is what I'm talking about. Crowdsourcing stuff from you.
Yeah, well, these guys know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
From you fine people. Otherwise, it's going to be STD. So let me know if you come up with something. I think that's it for channel news. Not a lot else going on. I am going to. I need to write this down because I forget. I do need to redo the merch. I think we're going to try to get something going for Christmas. So I've set a goal. That's like 5 months from now, right? We can come up with some more stuff for merch.
Yeah.
QTT.
We need.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. QTT. Quick tactical tidbits. Gator. Monkeypox missives. The problem with STDs, by the way, it's not just an STD, but also over here, STDs are known as sanitary towels. So you can't. There's 2 reasons why you cannot do that. Oh yeah, so much to do.
All right. I think that's it for channel news. We're moving on to missions and specials.
We are.
So I was looking at the stuff here. Let's get. I'm gonna do something. Let's go like that so I can see the. Come over here and do one of these things here, and we'll get the blue light special going, my friends. Let's see what's for sale. It's been a few weeks since we've looked at this. That's not what's for sale, obviously. Let's go to here. There we go. All right. Premium shop. El Skinto, how are you? Get good tips. That's not bad. Okay. Get good tips.
Oh, Skinto?
Oh, yeah.
Where's your blue light, man?
I know. We're getting a little... There we go.
There you are.
Bring it.
Okay, I'll switch mine off now.
The shop seems to have some kind of goofiness going on because this is the second time it's done this to me. Trying to get it to load in. So maybe we'll get some...
It's laggy. Laggy.
Yeah, it's not liking what's going on here.
I'll tell you what it's doing. It must be resetting because I've still got expired items on here. The Suma is still showing, but there's a little...
Well, it did this to me earlier.
Yeah.
All right, so what's for sale, fellas? Here's what we've got. It looks like the AMX, which I think is tied a bit to the Battle Pass thing. Or not the Battle Pass thing, but the Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch Prime or whatever it's called. Hawk 30, which is the second tier second tier light tank, premium tank kind of thing. You know, LT 432, EBR EL 75, whatever it is, EBR 75 FL, and the ELC even 90 are the top tier. For premiums, this is second tier. It comes in right behind those stats wise recently, so it's actually a pretty decent light tank, but it's certainly no EBR or the rest of them. Then we get to the Lurva, which is actually on sale. You can get one of those for 42, which is pretty good. And I was able to put a coupon on some of these. Let's see what happens here. Nope, no coupon.
Yeah, it's just reset. I've got a 15 victory mission XP thing, 5 XP, blah.
Yeah.
I never use them.
So the Lurva's for sale. The 4503 is a mid quality tier 7. Here's the Sturv K. Remember, the Sturv K gets you bonds.
Yeah.
At tier 9.
Is that worth it? I mean, that's a lot of money. If you look at that, what is it, $100?
I know. It's average.
A lot of money.
It's average. Yeah, so you're going to get the Supreme or you're going to get this, which comes with the Sabaton Crew. It comes with a bunch of crap. Sabaton Crew 30 days of premium. I mean, they're really, it's just a big mess of a package.
A big package, but
it's a big mess of a package. I shouldn't have clicked on it. There we go. 2,000 gold, which is kind of random. Some personal reserves. ×5 and the Sabaton Crew. So yeah, that's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can just get the tank. No, it looks like you can't just get the tank. You're either going to pay...
There is a standard, but you still get the Sabaton
Oh, there it is.
Crew.
55,
It's what is it, $50 or something?
Okay, you can just get it. So it comes with the crew and the tank. There you go. But it's $55. Yep. Carnarvon Action X is mediocre. Even for a premium, it's not very good.
No.
The IS-2 Shielded, I think the IS-2M is somewhere here as well. It's on another page. This is actually one of the better Tier 7 premiums.
Yeah.
Good morning,
I think
Pill
most
Jedi.
of the IS variants are fairly good anyway, aren't they? But this is just a little different.
Yeah, so it's good. You can get this one down. Where was that? Maybe that's on the special. I think that's on another one. There's actually a special with one of these IS-2s. Is it this one? It is this one. That's actually not a bad deal. This has got 6,000 gold, which is $27, I believe. I checked on that.
Right.
Brings the tank down to like $17, and this one actually allowed me to use a coupon for some reason.
Oh, cool.
Which got it down to $40, which ended up being a $13 Let me see if it's still doing that. Yeah, there you go.
See, that I would. Well, I mean, each to his own. But I would say that's a reasonable price if you can get it around about that sort of.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting 6,000 gold in a what, $13 tank, tier 7 tank.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the better tier 7 heavies. Now you're going to be dealing with the derpy gun and all the stuff that ISs have going with them, but
yeah,
I'm not saying it's a screaming deal, but it's not bad.
Oh, Brute Bass is in the house.
Oh, Brute, what's happening? Good morning. And then some other cats and dogs. The IS-3A destroyed the game. The Scorpion's out. If you're for some reason don't have one, you can have a Cromwell B, probably only $11. Look at that.
Yeah, cheap as chips, and it's
wow.
got a little tank. Yeah.
Look at that. So a Cromwell B for $11 with its crew, which I think it should be one of those 0 skill, although I can't prove that. I wonder if it says that. Bundle contains 100% crew. There you go, with Brothers in Arms to 100%. So I don't know if it's a 0 crew or if it's just trained to 100%. I don't remember exactly with this. So can I put a coupon on this? It'll only save me $1 or so, right?
But then again, if it gets down to $12, it's a good package, isn't it? Really?
Nope, no coupon. Still though,
all right,
not a bad deal for a. Did it not get my click? Didn't register my click. So there you go. There's a couple, I think, decent deals out there if you're still spending money on World of Tanks. Premium, so don't need to go there. Let's go to vehicles. I think that was everything I had. Did you ever see anything else in there?
No, I mean, I've got a slightly different loadout to you, probably because I'm in the UK. It's basing it slightly on my sort of
right
things, so I don't show the Cromwell, but I mean, all the standards are in there. There's nothing else. I mean, there's the T103. That's always useful. You want to spend some money on a TD, that's a useful thing, but that's about it.
I don't know if I see this. I don't think I see that. Do I see the T103? Interesting.
It's under the standard vehicles slot.
Really?
Yeah. You go to
just
vehicles.
Further down.
Yeah, it's right down.
Well, these are all the things that are in the.
All the standards.
Yeah. These are all the things that are in the. Yeah. That you can buy for gold in the tech tree. Once you get down to the bottom there.
Yeah.
That's right, TOS. We're going to get to that because I don't know, man. It is summer, so this tends to happen. There's kind of a slowdown, especially towards the mid to late summer, before you start ginning up for other holidays like Halloween and stuff, back to school, when more people are playing and things. Yeah. I don't know, are more people playing? Maybe there are more people playing this. I don't know. Anyway, it seems like during the summer the game slows down quite a bit in terms of stuff that's going on, and we're starting to get to the point where we can start to speculate about Christmas.
Yeah, we're close. About another, I reckon, 3 weeks off Christmas yet.
Yeah, we're almost there, man.
I think also you got to think that wargaming staff take vacations, July, August as well. So
yeah, that's probably true. That's a
crew,
good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't really considered that. So that's pretty much it for that stuff. I think the raffles are ready to roll, so let's see what we got here.
What we got? Don't forget, guys, I need in-game name and server, please, for each of the for each of the 3 raffles.
Actually, this is still sitting. It did say you can no longer enter, and my timer is still going. So I got some goofy timer crap. All right, here we go. The winner is just around midnight.
Just around midnight.
Congrats.
If you want to whisper me your in-game name and server you play on just around midnight, I will make sure that happens today, bud. Rigged! Yeah, you saying it's not rigged. No, it's not, is it?
Next one will be in a little bit. We're going to do 3K next. 3K next. Yeah. All right, let's take a look. What do we got in missions? Back over to the website. This weekend is extra XP, looks like.
Yeah.
Standard action.
I think it's times. Is it times?
It's times 3.
3,
yep.
Yeah.
So it's a times 3, and then we've got these extra little missions on top of things. We're going to go over to look at the missions in the client here really quickly. Let's see what we got here. No specials. Copy. Okay, Adepta Sororitas. This is the Twitch Prime deal. The thing about this, guys, is there's 50 Battle Pass points involved with this Twitch Prime package. So while you couldn't buy Battle Pass points like you could last time, if you're a Twitch Prime person, you can get extra Battle Pass points through accepting the gift right there, the Adepta. Also, you get a crew member.
Psoriasis.
Is that her name?
Psoriasis. Yeah, Adepta Psoriasis.
So
yeah,
she's got
a silent P.
Skin conditions.
Not just a psoriasis.
It's got a skin condition. All right. That's this person right here. No, that's... Oh, I don't know who that is. Where's Psoriasis? Wait a minute, did she not?
Yeah, she looks like she's got lightning bolts behind her head and all that.
That's this one here. Right?
No, where am I?
Wait, what?
No, go to the website. It shows you on the website. Stickler's got 8 recruits in the barracks waiting for the Italian TDs to come out. They ain't coming out till 2023, bro.
They misnamed it.
Oh, did they? Oh, wonderful. What a free time.
No, never mind. What was I... Oh, that was the name of the package, not the name of the commander.
Oh,
I think. Her name is Patricia Lassarian.
Right, okay.
The package, I guess, is called Adeptus, whatever.
Adeptus Psoriasis. Okay.
Okay.
Well, whatever.
What the hell is happening?
Named package.
Prime Gaming, Adepta Psoriasis. It's got a skin condition.
Yeah.
And
a bit flaky, isn't it? It's a bit flaky.
So the package is called Adepta Psoriasis, but the character's name is Patricia Lassarian. Okay.
I give up with the ball.
I don't. Whatever. I guess that probably makes a lot of sense to Warhammer folks, which I'm
absolutely.
I don't hate it. I think it's kind of cool. But anyway, that's the person. Look at all these commanders I have.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
where
5,
you gonna
6,
put them?
7,
You got nowhere
8,
to put them
9,
over
10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2. Math and Public. I have like 87 of them. I can't count very well, but there's probably 29. There's 15 of them.
Oh, dear.
A meme game mode. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to Arcade Cabinet in a bit.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Arcade Cabinet. Okay. Anyway. Oh, rest of the mission. So that's what's going on. You can get extra Battle Pass points. Although, I played a bunch yesterday, and somehow I did not trip the first one.
Yeah.
So I had to have top 10 and to win. And I think, had 9 wins yesterday in my stream. No, I had 10. Because I think the next win trips this, which is hilarious. Because as you can see, now I've got the 10 of 10. I just haven't, and I tried this morning, and of course it was a loss.
Yes.
Yeah. So win a battle is involved. But I think now I will be able to just go through these. Nope, I got to do that 10 more times. So it's a bit of a grind then. God, how many times do I have to do for the last one? 90 wins?
Yeah. It is a bit of a grind. You're right. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember the last time I've ever counted that many wins.
90 wins? Holy crap.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a struggle.
90 wins. If I keep saying it, will it help?
If you keep saying it sounds
like
less.
90 wins, 26 days, 90 wins, Math in Public. That's 3 a day, I guess.
That's like 3 a day.
4 a day.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, 4 a day.
That seems like a lot. Here's an Arcade Cabinet. There are bonds involved with that. That, I guess, is I've only done it once here. And I was playing Scouts and Arty just because I was goofing around on it. I didn't really realize that you need to do 2,000. So get your tier 10, get a heavy or medium, do your 2,000, get your bonds and move on if that's what you want to do. That's really the only reason to play that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Watch, Salute, Community Hunting. That's all standard Battle Pass stuff. I'm done with that. Weekly Watcher missions. Yep. Make sure you're doing that, guys, when you're because we should have drops on for me here. Drops enabled. But remember, you've got to go into your drops section on your Twitch page and claim them. They don't happen automatically. On track is the FE 4005 and the UDES. Watch, Salute. This is the weekend stuff right here. Remember to have the tank you want that experience on selected and play it when you're ready to accept the 12,000 or 6,000. That's a great way to do field mods.
Yeah.
So it used to be that I didn't care too much about these things, but now that you're doing field mods, a nice 12,000 chunk thrown on your field mods is going to help.
Yeah.
Especially for
big
those.
Difference, isn't it? Makes a big difference.
Like tier 8 to 10 is a lot. Tier 8's 11,000 and tier 10 is 26 or 22 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good chunk. You can crank out some field mods with that. Commander AF's...
We've had to follow my friend from Liebervan.
Right on. Thank you. How you doing? Welcome. Commander AF's code is RNG is RNG.
Is RNG. Yeah.
And you're going to get a Skoda.
Skoda.
Yeah, T56. So I didn't realize that that's what was being given, because I sure have seen a bunch of those yesterday.
I was going to say, you're going to see an awful lot in game over the next couple of days, aren't you? So,
and if you're interested in marking your T56, it would be a good weekend to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because all the people playing it will bring it down probably. Monthly Twitch drops. So I just need to do some destroyed, get a couple more of those tokens. Remember, guys, it's not in the store. The Twitch drop depot is here in the depot, or the Twitch drop store is in the depot. And you can't see, but at the bottom of this area right here, my camera's in the way, but there's a parachute, and you click on that, and then you come over here and get your goodies. So it looks like I'm one away from grabbing the other consumables pack. I got 2 more of those. That's all I was really interested in, but of course you've got some rentals, and you can even get a tank, I think. Yeah. Pudel, HT number 6, and the T78 are all permanent, whereas the AX and the others are rentals. The tier 8s are rentals.
Can I just add in on that while you're on screen, the battle pass thing? If you've used your tokens up and you've got the tank you want, the Lorraine, the Cobra, whatever it is, and you know you're not going to have either time or you don't have enough tokens to get another tank, don't forget to use those tokens to get yourself whatever you want, bonds or economic reserves, because it's just going to sit there otherwise, not being used. Because I've just gone through it and I thought, crikey, I've got a couple of these tokens left over, so I'll go and get bonds with them, you know what I mean? Because I don't need any of the tanks because I've got them all.
Right, absolutely. Remember, though, that... So there's a couple of things going on with that. Number one is these tokens don't go away as you go through Battle Pass chapters until the end of the year. So don't worry about spending them at the end of this chapter. We have one more chapter coming up, so that's fine. They're not going away. Remember that you can buy the equipment, the bounty equipment, but you can only buy one piece of bounty equipment per chapter. So that's 3 coins. So I am going to get, in fact, I probably should do that. If I haven't done it, I'm going to do it here pretty soon. That's going to take 3 away. Here's the things he's talking about down at the bottom. You've got bonds and economic reserves. I think bonds are probably the best thing. But I'm still trying to get my 18 so I can get this Lorraine right here.
Right.
Which means I'm going to spend 3 on the piece of equipment. That'll bring me down to 5. And then I won't get the Lorraine until the next chapter. Till we crank through the next chapter. I may have already got... I don't know. I guess I haven't got my piece of equipment because it's still... Is it going to let me do that?
Have you not got to complete all 3 chapters before you can buy it?
No. The thing you have to complete the chapter to get to is items for points. This is a separate thing.
Oh, of course it is. It's locked off on mine. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah, I see.
And this has bonds as well. Right there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
But you have to finish completely. Where is it? You have
3 chapters.
Yeah, you've got to finish all 3 of the sections of this chapter, I guess, really.
Yeah.
So I think I'm at I'm about ready to finish this one. No. Yeah, finish this particular one. I think I've only got one of them finished so far. So I've got a whole nother 50 to go through.
Yeah. I've only done one chapter at the moment, so yeah, I've got another 2 chapters.
So that is ideally as confusing as possible.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So keep all that straight, fella.
Write it down.
Write it down. Let's see, where were we? We're doing missions and specials. August. Let's take a look at the August preview. There's not a whole lot in the August preview.
No,
Unfortunately,
I think they're geared up towards their birthday, and I think that's about it.
That is coming up.
Midnight,
Yeah, I forgot about
list
that.
of thanks. Yeah.
It is coming up. I forgot about that. All right. Boom. Preview. They're really mailing it in on this thing anymore. There's not a lot of good information in here. Let's get this thing. What the heck? Huh. It's odd. Don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, okay. Referral programs ongoing, Battle Pass, you know that. Prime Gaming, we talked about that. Arcade Cabinet we'll get to. The birthday special, all right, August 12th. So that means in 12 days or so, we should find out what the free tank is we get.
Yeah.
I think that information was out. I don't remember what the tank was. It's a German tank, I think, isn't it? Anybody know? Chuck it down in chat. I don't remember what it was called. On-track event is for tanks I've already completed. Yep. Gator says, coins good till December. Points expire with each chapter. There you go. Good to know. Yep. They're teletyping it in. Yeah. On-track missions, as you know, we've got these two going on. Looks like the 50B and the 110E3 are next. Month-long events with Salute is standard. It's been going on for years. You got the weekly Watcher drops. Everybody knows that for the... most everybody knows that for the Twitch stuff. Special events. Looks like there's some crew exchange coming up in August 17th to 22nd. Everything else is XP. Although 12th to 17th is discounts and special XP. So that's the birthday event. Usually there's crew discounts or gold discounts or whatever for changing crew out and stuff like that. So expect that to be going on then. And who knows? Keep an eye on the premium shop. August premium shop and in-game offers. Now, we talked about this last time before I went on vacation. Why even have that in there?
Yeah.
They used to list out what...
Yeah.
Actually, last time it was the country, but not the tank, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So it was... First they'd list the tank out, and then remember they would change them for whatever bizarre reason people would get pissed off. So then they're like, well, screw you, we'll just give the country. Now they're not even doing that.
Now they're just going, look out for the premium shop.
They're just damn, whatever.
Yeah.
Look at the premium shop. It's
just look at it and pay us some dollars. Oh dear.
Wowza.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this dude. He's just chilling. Of course.
Yeah, look at this. This is the beach, isn't it? This is the old beach scene.
Navy guys are in their underwear or whatever's going on there.
Well, that's what the Navy do, isn't it?
Why is his hand? Why is his hand? What's he doing?
I don't know. He looks very odd, but I don't know.
This guy's setting. He's about to set. This guy is ready though. Like when that set comes, he's ready. He's gonna smack it as hard as he can.
This is volleyball without a net and a ball, isn't it? Or is that a ball? Let me just see.
Well, for some reason they're up on the...
Sorry, there is a ball there, but there's no net, is there?
For some reason they're up on the hill though. They've decided not to do it down the flat area. There's a level of difficulty when you're kind of on the edge, right there. But he's ready, dude. Or he's high-fiving a ghost. I'm not sure. I don't know.
No, yeah.
This guy almost looks like he has a gun in his hand. What's he doing? I don't know.
What is that? Is it?
Is he holding a
divining rod? A divining rod. He's looking for water for his tog. It's a beach.
I think it's a clipboard, and he's taking the names of these lazeabouts.
Yeah. He's putting the Yankers, the extra workout duty work for the people. That's what he's doing. He's in charge of something, isn't he?
And why are there 3 togs on a beach?
No idea. It's a tog platoon, isn't it? A tog platoon on the beach, chilling.
He's holding his iPhone. He's checking. Yeah, he's tweeting.
Yeah, he's tweeting. Look, I'm on the beach with my togs.
He's like feeling sexy. Might tog later.
Hashtag.
Have we beat this picture to death?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Can we move on?
Yeah. All right. I think it's time for subjects du jour. Shall we start the 3K? Giveaway?
Yes, start the 3K while we're doing this.
All right. Well, give me a minute so I can go screw that up too.
Cool.
Let me screw that up. All right. We're going to complete that. So just around midnight.
Yeah, I got that just around midnight. Thanks. I got the Twitch.
You done got
Sorry,
his
Twitch. I got the Whisper. I'll sort that out today.
3K gold giveaway. Save, and we are off to the races. All right, guys, there you go. Good luck to you. We are on to subjects du jour.
Oh, yeah.
All right, subjects du jour.
What's top of the list, Guido, on subjects du jour?
We are going to go with, I think, increased support times article.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think this is tied to the general. I'm going to call it the general malaise.
Yeah, the hiatus.
Yeah, this is known. This will be known in history as the general malaise of World of Tanks.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they cut free the Russian area.
Yeah, the doldrums.
The doldrums. They've had to change a bunch of their development stuff. They're in a reorganization kind of deal. They've had like a series of mediocre ideas. You know, arcade cabinet. We're going to get to that. So we're in a general malaise, and now they come out and go, well, here's the quote. Due to an increased load on player support. What does that mean?
I don't know.
More people complaining?
Or an excuse to raise prices? I don't know.
Like, are more people complaining? Do you have less employees, which would thereby increase the load on the remaining employees? In which case you ask yourself, why do you have less employees? See, these are these corporate statements that don't mean anything.
No.
They're meant to be a reason, but they're more of an excuse or a deflection.
It's just a nefarious statement. It doesn't have any cojones, does it? It has nothing.
Well, yeah, there's
nothing there. It doesn't mean anything.
I mean, it's true, right? If you have X number of employees and you have an increased load, then yes, your metrics may increase in terms of the time turnaround for helping a customer. So in that sense and aspect, that's a truism. It's truth, right?
It is a truism in that
right.
particular context. But given that a large percentage of tickets are get a standard, bog standard sort of response, one of these automated responses, you don't actually get a person dealing with it. Given that a large percentage of those tickets get good type responses.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this is going to fit right.
Well, Gators nailed it, and that's kind of what I was talking about. Typical waste of time phrase used in a meeting. That doesn't mean they don't have to do it because they have to do it, which is a dumb way to say it. But they're at a point, obviously, where they have to do it. The question is, for me, the background question is why. Not that I'm expecting them to let us know what that is. I'm just speculating and asking the question out loud. That's interesting to me. And what's the reason? What's the real reason?
Yeah.
Cutbacks, changes, temporary. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just laughing because Pale Jedi's hit the nail on the head. They went from 2 people in support to 1. They've gone down to 1 person.
Now, here's something I didn't know. Dr. Coleman just said getting rid of Saturday showdowns. Is that true? I know I didn't do them, but I know a lot of people love that. It was a great way to just kind of have a little competition.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about with these guys. They would have these little competitions, which they obviously had with the Saturday Showdown. Support got busy, so we closed. Yeah, exactly, Jimmy. And that's why I'm asking the question out loud with all you fine people. Is, you know, it's what we do here, right, Pilgrim? We just babble here about the game and what we think is going on and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's all rhetorical, isn't it? It's all like, let's explore what's happening with the tanks without knowing anything about it.
Yeah, so we just make shit up constantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I heard is they hate the players and they're trying to make you quit the game.
Yeah, and they've told all the CCs to go and bury their head in the sand and leave their asses stuck up in the air. Yeah.
You sons of guns. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what it means, if anything. I mean, I'm just going to attribute it to the general malaise.
Yeah. The doldrums, the malaise of the world of tanks. The great malaise of 2022.
But strategically, for World of Tanks, where are we going?
Good point.
Right?
Globally.
I mean, what's the plan, man? Is there one?
I mean, to give this longevity, to give this game it's got longevity already, but to give it a continuance, there has to be at least a 5-year plan, surely. There has to be. You can't base. I mean, they've got to think about Christmas. Oh, did I mention Christmas? They've got to think about something happening after Christmas next year. Blah blah blah. They've got to have a 5-year plan. Where are we going to be in 5 years' time? You know, like Call of Duty. Maybe.
I mean, did they look at Saturday Showdown and go, "Ooh, we're giving away too much stuff"? I don't remember. What did they give away? It wasn't much, was it? Maybe I
don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they've looked at the whole big picture and said, "We're just plain old giving away too much stuff." I will tell you that it has become. Let me find the right word. I'm just going to use a harsher word. It's become. I'm going to say less lucrative, just to give you kind of a truth bomb. For being a CC, we used to get quite a bit of stuff. We got early access. They gave us tanks. We would do reviews and things to help advertise. But lately, that's kind of dried up. So I see this writ large in the bigger picture form of things like getting rid of Saturday Showdown, things like getting rid of tank rewards, and those kinds of things.
Pig actually. Pig makes a good point. 5-year plan. Let's throw this shit and then we'll see what sticks. Taking that into account, they're at a point, surely, where what other tanks exist in the world that they can bring into the game? So that's the first one. So, you know, without having to go back to the blueprints and finding some nefarious piece of metal that's called a tank that was never ever a tank, it wasn't even on blueprints. You know, what other tanks are they getting? They've virtually covered every tank that exists, virtually. And then on top of that, they're not producing enough new maps, to give the new experience to the older players to keep us there. Because
that's what this channel's talked about. I'm gonna talk about us in the third person. That's what all these like high.
That's what they do. Blue sky thinking. There we go.
Well, we've said that before. There's so much content here. You just have to rework the events and things, and it's almost endless, the stuff you could do with a little imagination. Now, what it was 8th Hussars said, and I think there's some truth to this, and a lot of it is dealing with Wargaming NA is a lot of stuff they have to hand jam. They don't have great ability to kind of get into the back end and do some things. You might go, well, you know, you could do this competition and then the awards would go out. Well, a lot of that is manually done. So I would buy, and maybe he's got SA and they've said this before, I don't know, but I do know that it is pretty time intensive based on my interaction with the NA folks who have to put in the stuff. And I know that there's been multiple problems with it when they try to set stuff up and it doesn't work and people get mad. So that could have a lot to do with it too. They're just like, you know, this is just too much of a pain in the arse to do.
Yeah. I get it, and I understand it a little bit more now because my workplace has just gone through a whole IT redesign. with a new SAP system being fitted in. And I now get it because I'm an old guy. I don't really get coding. You know what I mean? For me, it was back in the days of basic. Line 10, go to 20, and all that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now I've seen the guys come in and they're literally 6 hours tapping the keyboard, writing out coding and doing all sorts. I mean, it's 6 hours a day going like this and using this. It is time consuming, and it's not physically, a big effort, but it is psychologically a big effort to keep on track.
It's just it's time intensive, and they're not really. I don't think the NA folks are writing code. They just have to get into what they call the back end and give the tank to people. They got to go into the person's account and put gold or whatever into the account. I don't think it's as automated as you would think or they would like.
Right. Okay.
So and that's you could build that and attach it to your game, but you got a 10 years worth of code built up. It gets more and more complicated. Yeah. To attach things to it that isn't buggy. Yeah. And depending on how it's built, sometimes it's very difficult indeed. And I know nothing about how they've built it. Obviously, they've done a pretty good job because it more or less works most of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you just observe what's going on and how things seem to be slowing down. Somebody else mentioned you lose 1 million customers, you got to do something. Yeah, I can't argue that either.
Yeah.
But again, that's back to the general malaise, right? It's like, where are we going? I don't know if they know, and I don't think they. Every company has a 5-year plan. Whether they actually execute it or not, is another question.
Yeah, exactly. Whether they actually resource the 5-year plan as well. Obviously, then resources get dragged off to do other things.
But you have to also be flexible enough to change stuff as it goes. You can't just go, well, by God, we said this. Whether it's a 2-year, 3-year, whatever plan, it doesn't matter how long the plan is. If you're not flexible enough, if things change, then that's a problem as well.
Yeah. So good segue by Wayne. Arcade cabinet, because that's something they've introduced. Why have they introduced it, and what the heck is that all about?
Yes, let me just throw this out real quick. There is no 4th Battle Pass chapter. That's the latest word. So don't expect that. That may change what you're doing, folks, with your Tier 6s. I will caveat that by saying I got that off of a third-party site who said they talked to somebody in Wargaming. It's not my... If somehow they decided next week to do it and you blew all your Tier 6 that you were saving, the extra 15 points... Don't get mad at me, but that's my understanding as of right now. Semi-officially from Wargaming, there is no 4th Battle Pass. However, just another data point, I did ask the NA folks, and it was crickets. I wasn't told there wasn't one, but I wasn't given an answer, so take that for what it's worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says a lot when there's no answer, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't think, and they don't, we have a fairly direct connection to those guys, but I don't think they read everything that gets babbled in the CC channel, and the CC channel doesn't have anything to do with their day-to-day job other than doing the interaction with a few of them who have the interactions with the CC. So let's not give that. I don't want to give that avenue of connection any more credence than it has.
Okay, that's fair enough.
It's got a little bit more than just
like massive inside.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more than most of you do, but don't feel like I have any kind of inside information. Occasionally, that goes back to what I said earlier. I had more, I felt like, a couple years ago. I feel like right now we have not much.
No.
But
Brutus, there's another raffle. So this one's closed.
Oh, did it close? All right, let's do this, man.
But there is another one for 10k afterwards, so you haven't missed out. You haven't missed out, Brutus. Okay.
Did he get his in this one?
No, he just missed it. He's just put iRaffle now, and it's closed.
Oh, he missed the first one too. He put in raffle right after the first one closed. Sorry, brother. All right, let's find out. The winner is Stickler74.
Stickler. I know you're in game now, mate. So you're fine with that one.
Okay, cool. 3K. Awesome. And we'll give the 10K away in a little bit here. Yeah. Actually, we've been at about an hour, so we are going to dive into Arcade Cabinet next, but we're going to take a 5-minute break, so the old man over in England and myself, the young guy over here, can get up and stretch out and take a leak.
His bladder's worse than mine, by the way, everybody.
Oh, by miles. All right, I will be back. We will be back in 5 minutes, guys. Okay, my friends, we are back. We are back. All right, so arcade cabinet. First, what the hell is an arcade cabinet?
I don't know. I don't know. I thought I might have to like put $1 in the slot or something to get in. I don't know.
That's what it's supposed to be, right? That's the idea. It's one of the old
Yeah,
stand-up arcade
yeah,
cabinets.
yeah.
But why is that attached to this event? I don't. It's a weird
Doesn't feel
name.
like an arcade, to be honest.
It's a
It
weird
feels
name.
pretty poo, to be honest.
Or is it a translation thing? Although now, is it really a translation thing now? Because
So now you're doing it.
no, this has to be. This is an EU too, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but we know what arcades are. Well, I'm not EU, we're UK, but I know what an arcade is. It's definitely not what this is.
I mean, dude, I don't know.
Yeah. Zimbo's
So,
in the house, by the way.
so right off the
Definitely.
bat, probably making a mountain out of a molehill, but the name's weird, and I don't understand. It doesn't help when you start talking about packaging things and promoting things. It's a nonsensical name, kind of to me. Unless you're just talking about it's like a arcadey fun game. That then brings me to what the hell was the purpose of it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fun. We could go. It's just an event, dude. Don't read too much into it.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you know what? Maybe that's the case, but it's when it's confusing like that, as always with wargaming, when they put their own little caveat on everything, it just doesn't make sense. And then then it ticks in the back of your mind that it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. Ever.
And wasn't it kind of also advertised as a test bed thing to kind of look at
Yeah.
other
Was
ways?
it not? Yeah, it was.
Sort of. They sort of mentioned that, sort of. But then, as a test bed, that's a horrible, horrible way to do it. You're not going to get any data that is useful out of something the way they did it.
Yeah.
I don't, and I know I'm making more out of it than I should, but I don't get it, man. It's kind of a cool idea, but the execution, as almost always happens with them, is weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I missed the first one. I was on vacation for the first. The first one sort of looked interesting because they basically made everything super accurate, and then they had the spot, so there was really no, other than being outside of render distance or draw range. Everything was very accurate, and everybody was kind of known where they were. And that's a very different game because now you've removed the dispersion factor, and there was some other bonuses. Speed, right? I think they were faster the first time. So it was very much an arcadey kind of thing. Yeah, game's fast and strange shit. So it does, yeah, absolutely. Even this one changes because people are still faster, so you got people raging around.
Yeah. I mean, for me, yeah, okay. Whatever they're trying to test, that's up to them. They don't need to explain to little old me about what they're trying to test or what it's for or anything else. But to then enter into a mode that you're spotted when you're on the cap, logging in basically, and then it's just obliteration time because people are so accurate. TDs are sitting at the back, can see you, they're firing blind shots at you because they can see where you are on the map, and it was just complete and utter farce. Maybe it's just me, the way I play, but it was a farce.
Yeah, and what Jimmy's saying, make everything faster as their meta, and that's kind of what we've been doing. So I suppose in some ways that this kind of thing supports that. But what are they going to do with plus or minus 75 RNG? I mean, I know if you're doing a test, you don't assume that everything you're testing is going to happen, but let's for a moment say they like the accuracy thing and it goes to hyper accurate and they just change the entire game to that.
I mean, you could probably take a mouse out with a light tank then, if that's the case, because you can hit the spot every time. If you got one of the little French auto loaders, probably take a mouse out. I don't know.
Oh, has Klaus talked about this? Big part of map design. Yeah, well, and that map design hasn't changed in this at all. And all the things people are saying, that's why it's so weird to me that this wasn't in a controlled test of any kind that could have been cool. For example, what they could have done is said, we're going to give a weekend of plus or minus 20 RNG.
Yeah.
and a slight dispersion buff.
Yeah.
A significant, not like 2%, but say a 25% dispersion buff or something.
Yeah.
Across the board. And leave it at those two things, or even just one of those things. And then you could actually get data that would be...
Yeah.
And then people would be able to sort of get a better idea of what they thought about that, because they're only thinking about one thing that changed.
Yes. Yeah.
As opposed to...
You get more focused data then as well.
Yes. And the perception by the player base and the super testers or testers or whatever would be more focused, because it's only one variable. Right now, the first one had so many variables. This one has three. Three variables with massive changes. There's nothing to be gained from that other than people getting a general idea if I liked it or didn't like it, and probably not able really to articulate what it was they liked or didn't like, or they would focus on one thing and not really.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. It's like, no, I get it, and it's almost like the amount of data they're going to get off it doesn't have any meaning to it, because it's not. It's because everybody's trying to focus on. Well, first thing you do when you focus on entering into battle is getting a good position and then staying alive. Well, for example, the last iteration of the arcade was this, you were spotted from the minute you started the game. You were spent all of your time trying to avoid being shot at by the TDs sat at the back of their map, because their lighters just spotted you. You're like, you couldn't focus on the rest of the game because you're running away from everything. So what data did that give? I don't know.
Right. Not how testing works. You don't want the player to screw with the results by concentrating on. I'm assuming that's being sarcastic. I don't know.
Yeah.
So many things to be done. Yeah. So the other thing that, if you did what I was saying, you just took one thing that's a common. The other example I had, one thing that's a common complaint: dual weekend of ±1 matchmaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then send out a survey and say, hey, what did you think about that? Then you get some valuable, measurable info, as opposed to...
Yeah. Yeah, well, and what you haven't got is this huge mass of data you've got to weed through to find out the exact stuff that you want. You've just got one set of data coming back on you for one weekend, and go, okay, this is this. You get your team together, this is what happened, this is the data we got. Let's get some questions running about how this is all going to fit in, or whatever.
And the other thing you get for your brand is, because these are commonplace arguments, you get the visual or the look that you're working on it, that you're thinking about it, that you're open to adjusting, that you are listening to players, that I'm not saying it changes necessarily, but they could look at it and go, all right, well, here's some results from ±1. Here's what we liked, here's what we didn't like, and then they were. And they don't even necessarily have to say they're keeping or getting rid of +2, -2, but they could discuss it and kind of go, look, this is what we see on this thing. I don't get it, man. If it's simply a case, somebody else said, where is it? Diablo, thanks, man. Thanks for the sub, much appreciated. The attraction is getting XP with no impact. All right, so that's a separate discussion to what's the purpose of it. Unless the purpose truly is go out, have fun, goof around, here's some goodies. Okay. I mean, I can accept that at face value, but at the same time, don't put in verbiage about how you're, testing things or whatever, which is sort of what they kind of talked about.
Yeah, it's almost as if, here's a mode we've designed, have a go at it. We can get the data back, the feedback, and then we might, in some time in the future, do something with that mode. So it is a test bed. So it isn't go and have fun. Otherwise it wouldn't exist, would it? Other than go and have fun. And they wouldn't have all that crap attached to it, oh look, this is what we're doing. So I
mean, they could definitely, you could have a game, I think, that people would like, where if you did all these things, made them faster. I don't know about the ±75% RNG. That's pure frustration. I played a mouse and I was doing 200 damage with a hit, and then another time you do 1200 or whatever. It's not on board with that. That makes it more of a slot machine. I think that's not really what people are looking for, who are trying to get to a more Twitch skill based arcade kind of feeling. You would do the dispersion thing where it's super accurate. You would do more speed, that kind of stuff. Obviously, I think you would not do plus or minus 75% RNG to attract people to your game, because that sounds like running around with a bunch of artilleries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is that, or it becomes very much Call of Duty, doesn't it? You know, the one shot kill and all that sort of nonsense. You know?
Yeah. El Skinto says this iteration is not for me, and I think people definitely like the first one better. And if you are that more Twitch based gamer, I could certainly see people being more interested in much more accurate guns, faster, that kind of stuff, because that will appeal, I think, to a different player base. Yeah. But we have talked about this because we've kind of been in that direction slowly over the years, trying to bring in the more FPS oriented players and potentially bring in younger. But as I've thought about this, and again, this is a thing we've mentioned on this channel a lot, players, it's not static. Players will age into not necessarily wanting to do the Twitch skills stuff. So there's always a new generation. And because so many people are gamers now as compared to, say, the 80s, it's a much larger demographic moving into that older age group that are gamers, that want some of the things like this game provides, which is one of the reasons this game has been so successful, in my opinion, is the way it was built with a bit of RNG. I personally still think there's a little too much, and this dispersion is not quite as accurate as it should be, but I wouldn't want it to be purely Twitch-based where someone puts a pixel on your pixel, fires, and hits you. I will not be able to do that. So that's a selfish, personal issue that I don't want to play against people who can do that. It's bad enough now I get outplayed by some of the guys who are extremely good at, hand-eye coordination in terms of the game and stuff. Yes, RNG exists. Yes, dispersion exists. But that helps me probably more than some of the super highly skilled people do. So I get that. I understand my position in the hierarchy of all that. And clearly I don't want my game to turn into this other thing. But maybe there's another game to be built, or another version of World of Tanks that has these things that they're testing. I don't know.
Okay, well, all right, let's go with that then. Let's say the 5-year plan is at some point they're looking at either having a World of Tanks on steroids and still maintaining the old World of Tanks. I don't see how that would work, but anyway, so maybe there is thoughts about the move. Because don't forget, they brought a lot of staff in from the FPS world some years back, didn't they? They dragged a load in. They recruited a load of guys who came from the FPS world. So that has to have an influence on what happens within wargames, especially in NA.
Yeah, I think it did, but that was a long time ago. I think some of those same people are around. I don't know. I haven't tracked, what the develop. It goes back to the general malaise, though. Nobody really knows what the hell's going on.
No,
players wise, there's no like public facing strategic vision for wargaming on what their plan is.
No,
I'm not saying it has to be one, but games do this. There are lots of other big games out there that kind of talk about where they're going and what they're thinking about. Wargaming used to do that a bit, and I know they're in a big restructuring thing, so I don't know if that may come out later. But right now, definitely doesn't exist. Bitwise says, "I wonder if they remove stats." So this is a great question. It seems to me, which I think is what Bitwise is saying here, is that there is this general consensus, the common thread about a lot of the modes is there's no stats, and people like that because they don't, they can play and they don't have to worry about stats.
Yeah.
Fun fact, you can play the real game and not worry about stats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That's you. Now, if someone wants to be toxic and come after you, that's them.
Yeah.
You can choose to let that get to you or not. That's you. But I get it. People are like, well, I can just rage around and do whatever I want, and it doesn't matter. You could still do that in the regular game as well. I just throw that out. But that is certainly a common thing. Bitwise is 100% right. But I find that to be kind of a... That's a very small thing to hang a hat on all these different modes.
Right, kill it dead in the water then. Let people have stats, but it's only visible to the player, to themselves. Nobody else can see those stats.
Yeah.
So you can play to be a stat player if that's how you want to play.
Well, that was the XVM and Anonymous issue in a nutshell. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Stat patterns kill the newbies and low tiers. That's 100%. Yep. But that's just getting beat. Stats are no. If you blow up constantly and don't know why, stats aren't going to really matter at that point. You're so new, you're not paying attention to stats. All you know is, holy crap, I get crushed by these guys. Screw this game, I'm out. So definitely a problem. Skoda T56 is out on rental. I don't know, Mad Tanker. Great question. We said earlier, we used to get SA on what was coming up, what was going to be sold next, and that doesn't exist anymore. So I do not have any word on whether that's going to be for sale. Pig says they like accumulating resources with no stats. Yep. But that's also something to delve into in terms of a comment, because this game is about building up resources, specifically unlocking tanks on the tech tree. Which is it though now? Because all the best tanks are premium.
Yeah.
It's a real problem, really. Yeah. There's only a couple tanks.
You can now, whereas before you had to grind your way into the better tanks, the better tiers, if you want to call better, but now you can purchase yourself into at least tier 8 or tier 9.
There used to be
a skill set that goes with it.
There used to be a tank people really like to get in the tech tree. Looking at you, Kronwagen, but now Wargaming's like, screw that. So terrible newbie experience. They drop stats. Some folks would go nuts at 100%. So the top end players would not like that. I would agree with that. Google Earth available. Could we have accurate historical maps?
Maps would be nice. Actually, historical maps.
The fact is, you said accurate. Okay, so you do understand that a lot of these maps are inspired by actual locations. Horribly unbalanced. Stats killed the game long term. Maybe. Badly if they aren't going to be nerfing the Chief. Ban them from Clan Wars campaigns. Played Close to 100 Battle. Clan Wars in the past 2 weeks, and every single game besides 5. Chief. Chief for 270. Awesome. Yeah, they can get rid of the funnels and corridors. I could, if Pig's still around, he'll agree. We got to get rid of those things. Or if we have them, they need to be a minority if the map's not half or 2/3 of the maps or more. People focus on other people's stats. Absolutely. More and more players have all the that's true, Randall. So we are getting to that kind of point where a lot of people have basically finished the grind game, which is one of the reasons they added field mods on, to give people something to do.
Yeah, I can see that totally. It's just something else to do with the resources in game. So I'm slowly coming round to that way of thinking. From what you said, and I've started to using the XP now to do field mods and all that sort of good stuff. And it's now part of the game. Yeah.
Peester likes the credit farming.
Yeah, you see, people will like that particular mode for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
Test bed or not.
We didn't talk about this. I think it was a big mistake not for them to not have battle pass points attached to it. They'd have got a lot more people playing it if they'd have done that.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't care. Clearly, not enough to add stuff to it. All the tier 8 premiums 3 to 4% better. Yep, absolutely. Steel Saint, 100%. Bitwise is laughing at Tech Tree Tank play. Just around midnight's using the mode to unlock. And that's something that when I comment on this, I kind of look at those modes and things more in a bigger picture. But when you get right down to it, a lot of players play them because there are specific things that they want. So good on Wargaming, they've actually, in that case, created a carrot that players want. So people are playing them. Clan Wars without rewards tanks for a season might be interesting. I've said that. So that's another example of things they could do with their current game to make it interesting. It would be cool to have a Clan Wars. How about a Clan Wars that's German versus Brits, or American versus German, or Brits versus French, or American versus Brit, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can only use
absolutely.
You can only use one, or maybe just one country. This will be clan wars for French tanks, or I don't know. Just switch it up.
Yeah,
just switch it up.
Yeah, it's not beyond the wit of man to be able to deal with that sort of stuff and do it. Put it in there. Yeah. I don't think anyway.
I did like the tank company battles. That was actually pretty good. Also, Guido, I'm not joking. One of the other tanks I played was a C63, and it was just to push a T-79 at the other guy.
Yeah.
So he could get to a certain position early. Nice.
Yeah.
Then everyone would complain that the Brits suck. Yeah, well, there's always going to be a complaint, isn't there, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
100%. So let's see. So let's wrap up Old Arcade Cabinet. I didn't really get the name, which doesn't matter, but it's just odd. I'm not really sure what the purpose is. I'm happy to say the purpose is to play the game in a different mode, have fun, and get some goodies. Okay. I really wish they'd have put Battle Pass points to it. That would have enticed me to play it a little more. I might play it. I think it ends today. I might play it just to go get some of the bonds, because there are bonds involved in credits and stuff. So,
yeah. I
don't know. There you go. Arcade Cabinet.
Another mode that they've thrown in that doesn't connect to anything. That's the way I see it. There's no...
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's connected to the game in any way. It's another one of these Steel Hunter mode. Throw it in there, do this, and then it disappears forever. Or
yeah, it was just weird. It was just weird.
Yeah.
All right, so there's another K91 version coming out.
Yeah.
K91-2 Vipera, which has been spotted by somebody on the EU server. I'm going to try to find it here, actually. Let's go over here.
And I asked Guido the question, notwithstanding the fact that he's a collector of tanks, is he interested in getting the tank? Because you've struggled with the K90s, haven't you? K90s.
Yeah. I think this one's a medium, though, as I recall. Let me try to find it here. Yeah, the source for the no bonus battle pass was Lesta Studio. Oh, there you go. So Lesta Studios, but is that Lesta Studio? I thought that was the Russian studio. Is that what it's called now? Must be from Seb. Okay, so it's not the Russian. There will be no temporary chapter in the current season of Battle Pass 8. We need more time to analyze the collected statistics and feedback from the players.
I hate it when they say that. You know what I mean? It's just bullshit. Oh, did I say BS? Oh dear.
What on earth are you analyzing? Is there, like, do they have negative feedback? People are like, oh, I hate getting that free tank. That was so crappy.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, don't ever do that again to me, please.
Anyway, that was odd. So that's where I got that. I'm trying to find this Vipera thing.
Just on a point the P-Testers just made there, P-Tester 1, as a newer player who does not have all the tech to strength, the arcade mode is a great way to get a step up in the grind. I get it. I get that there are... Should it be part of the main game forever? Maybe not, because then what's the point of the grind? As a boost, yeah, use it. You have to, yeah. Like we've said before, when any gaming company puts something out into the wild, it's the player base that decide how that is going to look and how it's going to work out. So every time Wargaming throws something out there with whatever expectation they've got against it, it'll be the player base that actually make it do something that maybe they never even thought about. So if somebody's using it just as an XP grinder, fantastic, great.
So, all right. So Lesta Studio is the Russian studio,
right?
So what they say about Chapter 4 shouldn't matter, or does it? See, I think they were less than honest about this divestment.
Yes, I think that was a very political statement.
I think they were somewhat less than forthcoming on exactly what that meant, on who owned what and how things were going to happen. We'll see. Maybe that's why there's kind of silence. They're sort of like waiting for dust to settle or something. I don't know. That's what I thought too. That Lesta is, am I wrong, guys? Lesta is the renamed Russian one, right?
That's what I thought.
Yes, El Skinto. So, if financial, right? So this is what I'm getting at. They want their cake and eat it too. Wargaming announced they would be pulling all of... Yep. And all its... Okay, so out of Russia and Belarus, and transferring all its live game servers to those in those regions to Lesta, which will no longer be affiliated with the company. So a comment from Lesta should not matter to us.
No.
In theory.
In theory.
Unless it does.
Well, it's very much along the lines of the financial umbrella for wargaming sits in Cyprus. So it's not NA, it's not Russia, it's not Belarus, it's not EU, but the financial bank account, if you like, sits in Cyprus, completely divorced.
Well, we've talked about this before. There's plenty of ways for the same people to be making money off the two companies and claim the companies are not connected. Yes, the companies are not connected, but they are connected to that guy, right? Or conglomerate or holding companies and all this crap. So then you go, all right, that's weird. So is Lesta still developing, and does the EU and NA side of the house then buy the stuff from Lesta? Right, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Right, we're not the same company, but they develop and then we on paper buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's so many. That's just one example. There's so many ways you could get around that whole thing, and then you act like you've done something for world peace and all that good stuff.
Exactly. Very political statements. What they did. Very.
But then for the gamer, the question becomes: Lesta claims there's no fourth battle pass chapter. Is that automatically true for us? I assume. I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
The Russian reach.
Time will tell. Yeah, Jimmy. Absolutely.
Oh, that's where I got the STD. Oh. All right. Anyway, here's the K91-2 Vipera, which appears to have a turret. So it's got that kind of interesting
forward turret, isn't it?
Mid to forward, yeah.
It's
got that it's not rear, so they've got the one that's the rear turreted one. Then they've got the TD version. Now it looks like a forward mid to mid forward turret, and then also the TL7's running around as well, which I think is an auto loader, as I recall. Some kind of it's an US auto reloader, I think.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Like we need one of those. Yeah.
TAP claims the CEO of Lesta became the owner. Yeah. Well, you can be the owner, but still be paying. I don't know. Anything, that's pure speculation for me. I don't claim to have any idea really what the hell's going on. But it is all very, smells a bit of fish.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
It's definitely mackerel.
It smells like the dock down by the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a rotten smell, but it's on the verge of maybe some rottenness. There's some rotten fish in there, but you also know there's some nice fish. But because there's guts and other bits, and it's a little smelly. It's just a little smelly.
Just a little. Just a little. It's a bit underarm pit, isn't it?
So I don't know, man. I don't. We have not, as CCs, as mentioned before. We don't have a lot of info on stuff anymore, and we're not getting tanks like we used to. Not that we were ever really allowed to give. I mean, we were under NDA, so we were not really allowed to tell anybody about new tanks, right? Not really explaining that very well. They would give us the tank to test. One thing people could do is look at our service record and find out or they'd see us in game, but that hasn't happened.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of CCs in game.
I'm trying to think the last time they gave me a tank was. It was a while ago.
I'm not seeing you play any of the new tanks.
Other than on my sheriff
Cobra.
Yeah, my sheriff account. I think they gave us the Cobra on the sheriff account. I think was the last thing we got, but not on our regular accounts.
Right.
Which is kind of fascinating a little bit as I think about it. Go to my channel. When was my last review? That was an actual. Let's see here.
Wayne, you can buy CCR&G along with, as long as you purchase a Guido mug with your free stick of rock, you get CCR&G as a free gift.
Easy peasy every time.
There you go.
Let's see, best tier 8. Okay, the ship tick was the last one I did, and that was. Oh, stop, you dumb thing. That was July 8th. So interesting. No, that's best tier 8. Never mind, I screwed that up. What's going on here? May 6th.
Right. Okay.
That's about the longest I think I've ever gone without some new tank showing up.
Okay, so that says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At least for a while.
Says a lot. When are you going to kick in the next raffle, buddy?
Let's do it. You ready? Let's
All right,
get that
let's
set
do
up.
it.
Let's get that set up. Let me change the little doodad here. All right, guys, this is for 10K this time. That's a significant amount of gold, my friends. 10K gold giveaway coming up, starting now. Good luck. Good luck to that.
Good luck, everybody. Yeah.
And thanks to Pilgrim for doing that. Much appreciated.
Pleasure indeed, sir.
Now, what else you got, Pilgrim? So, oh.
Well, should we talk vacation?
Yeah, you had a story, right?
Oh, my goodness me, do I ever. Right, so we set off to the Merry Isles of Cornwall.
Cornwall.
To the Dulcet Isles, the sun and the sand and all that sort of good stuff. We set off there. We
positively tropical.
Yes, virtually tropical.
Yeah.
It was like high 90s, low 100s.
Very nice.
Fahrenheit,
Yep.
which was nice.
Yep.
Which was nice. So where we stayed at a nice little cove called St. Ives. It's got a bit of a harbour. You can sort of walk down and, you can get your Kiss Me Quick hats and all that sort of wonderful stuff.
Good.
And a nice beach, very clean, very white sand, blue water, rolling in from the Atlantic and everything. Absolutely gorgeous. What a wonderful day. So we get there, day one, which is fine. The hotel take the keys to the car. They go and park it off for me. That's nice, thank you. We take a walk down into the town, as you do when you first day there. Shorts on, white knees, looking looking all like, proper bloody tourists.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Taking pictures as you go.
Yeah, with the old cameras.
Yep.
So, we thought we'd get a Cornish ice cream. Because you know what? Cornish ice creams are some of the best in the world. They're made with cream, real cream and everything. So there you go. So we're sort of walking along the seafront and I'm licking mine. I've got my hat on, not this one, but I've got my holiday hat. In fact, I'll go get it now. Just wait.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
A little bit scared.
No. It's a
proper, very nice. Yeah.
It's a proper genuine Panama. Yeah. So that's my holiday hat, right?
There you go.
I'm there with my holiday hat on, and the house general's there with her ice cream. She's got a double dipper because it's holiday. She can. So she's got a double dipper, big ice cream. She's licking it, and then she holds it out here like this as she's walking. Well, you know what happens. Yeah, Mr. Thief Seagull swoop takes the ice cream out of her hand. Right. Mine's under my hat. Takes the ice cream out of my hand. She screams. Right, this seagull's now sitting there with an ice cream stuck on its beak, flying off into the yonder. And this geezer's stood by the side of us. He goes, "Oh, did the seagull nick your ice cream, madam?" And I looked over and went, "I don't give a shit. It didn't nick mine, and I carried on eating mine." That's how we set the holiday off for the whole week. But the fact that he had to actually point out what had happened right in front of his eyes made me laugh, I tell you.
That's actually funny because my story was also with said animal.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we're at the Albert Docks. We're at the Albert Docks. And I don't know, have you been there?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's got those little shopping area in there, and lots of little shops and coffee shops and brute bars and
like
restaurants.
A little
yeah, it's really cool. And then in between's the dock where they used to bring the ships in and do the loading and unloading, all that stuff. Well, obviously there's seagulls everywhere because you're right there on the Mersey. And
of course.
And I will say, I'm assuming it's the same in the South, but England has some of the largest damn seagulls I have ever seen.
You bet, man. I mean, they're
massive.
They just
and well fed.
They are hobbits. They are big.
Yeah, they are chunky chickens. So that walkway, what you've got is like a railing. Then you've got the square water area, and it's a U shape. Well, actually, it's a square all the way around it because there's just a little lock that comes through.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And there's a restaurant right there. Somebody had left 2 boxes of chips, so they ate some and left. It was probably fish and chips. It's in the cardboard box, and the boxes were closed.
Yeah.
They're about that big. And they're sitting there. So my daughter and I are standing there chatting, and I see the seagull come in. He lands on the edge, and he's looking. I can see he's got an eye on the. So he goes hopping, waddling across the walkway, I hit my daughter. I'm like, watch this. So he jumps up on there. He takes that beak and he stabs it into the cardboard. Shakes his head. Chips fly everywhere, and he just starts to gorge. One chip after another, great big, and he probably ate 10 of the things. Wow, while people are walking back and forth, he's just like, nah, rah, rah. And then he turns, he's ready to roll, ready to leave, and he was about to fly, and about 8 people went by, and he waited, and then when there was an opening, he just launched himself off and flew away.
They've got no fear at all.
None.
Fear.
I mean, he just gorged on the chips.
The thing is, until very recently, they're now a protected species, so they're not allowed to be taken out.
Oh, wow.
So that's why they've got no more fear, because they don't fear the human person. They don't fear humans at all. So because they're now protected. So you've actually got, down in Cornwall, you've got warning signs on the lamppost. Seagulls are thieves. They will take your chips and your ice cream. Be aware.
Oh,
real. We were like 2 hours into the holiday. But yeah, I mean, they're massive. And if you put it like you had there was a box of chips. They've worked out ways of getting in these things.
I mean, it knew there was food in that box. Yeah. I mean, it was a closed box. It knew that there was food in there. So when it jumped up, it stabbed its beak and shook like it. He's like, I need to open this thing up, and I'm going to get goodies as soon as I do that. It was pretty awesome.
Intelligent seagulls.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. We laughed a bit. All right, so let's see. Where are we on this giveaway? Has it closed?
I don't think so. It's not yet. No,
I think it has, hasn't it?
Doesn't say close yet on the
really?
Flying Norway rats. I think so big.
Yeah, they're definitely big. Mad Tanker was the last one in, so he got his. Stream the audience.
Doctor Who?
Yeah, it hasn't said it yet, has it?
No.
Go play arcade mode. Woohoo!
Yeah, let's do that, eh?
Man, right after this, I've got to go out. I have to go pick up piles of leaves and hedge trimmings because I was out.
This is what happens when you take a vacation, mate.
Oh man, it was a jungle. I mean, I hit it the day I got back. The day after, right before we went to Pensacola, I did a quick mow. I raised the deck as high as it would go on the mower just to knock down the worst of it. I'm gonna have to mow again next week.
Right.
But yesterday when we got back, yesterday was the first full day. I went out in the morning and I was gonna trim the hedges because they're all going crazy.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't done it all summer yet, so I'm out there doing that, and I got that done, and then I raked it up, and as I was raking the last pile, it was getting so hot. I'm like, I'm about to give myself heat stroke, so I just left the piles. I'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've done that in a long time. Like, man.
But the thing is about being on the Panhandle, I guess, is because it's so humid, is that you don't. I mean, for us, it's dry heat, so my yard is brown. So I've not had to cut the grass.
Yeah.
Because it's not green anymore. It's not grown. But I guess everything grows down there, whether it's
Well, I do water the lawn because I also have to hit the garden. I don't want the vegetable garden.
Okay,
I don't want the vegetable garden to die. I could do the same thing and let it just get nuked, but then the weeds would take over because the weeds.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah, the weeds don't seem to care quite as much.
I don't know what it is. Weeds are well hard. They're like, I don't need water. I can grow.
Yeah, and we have 50,000 kinds of weeds here.
I can imagine. I mean, it's subtropical, isn't it? You know.
So
I should imagine Navy SEALs do training in your backyard.
Yeah, they could have, and they could have. They could have this time.
Last
week.
It
was ridiculous, insane. That's what happens when you leave it for 3 weeks. It was almost 3 weeks that I left it. So 2 weeks is probably too much. I could mow every week if I wanted to keep it. If I wanted to keep it where it should be, I would. Right now, I'd have to mow every week.
Wow, that's just like that becomes more than a chore. That becomes That becomes a real pain if you're having to do that.
102
Mow
for
every
Wayne.
week. No,
102 for Wayne, man. Yeah. So as hot as it is here, we still get those rain showers, so we still have some pretty decent green. Just around midnight, says he mows every week. I really should, but I just some weekends I just don't feel like doing it.
Well, the thing is about mowing it. Well, yeah, if you have to mow it every week, sand spears. Sand spears. Tell us about the sand spears. Grumpy old man says sand spears.
Sand spears. I don't know what those are. You talking about the hitchhikers, the little dudes that stick in your foot? Yeah, those are nasty. If that's the one you're talking about.
Oh, sand spears.
Oh yeah. Do you have those?
No.
So there's a certain grass. I don't know which grass it is. It's a weed grass, and when it I don't know, seeds, germinates, whatever.
Okay.
The little, it's got little prickly dudes, and then when they dry out, they just have spikes all like like a sea urchin. It's like a little tiny mini sea urchin, and it goes into everything. We call them hitchhikers because it'll stick onto your pant leg or your shoe or something. And if you put one of those in your foot, it does not feel good. Cockleburs.
Yeah, it's quite dangerous living down there.
Oh
yeah.
Gators, water moccasins, rattlesnakes, scorpions.
Gators, yeah. I've got gators in my yard.
Water moccasins. Yeah, we got several poisonous snakes down here.
Crikey.
Wild pigs. Wild pigs are pretty nasty. We got bear.
Right, you got bear down there, man.
Yeah,
they
black
must be
bears.
Like no fur.
They're not big. They're not giant, but of course they're big enough to hurt you.
Wow.
The black bears
not mountain size.
Yeah, they're not grizzly. They're not grizzlies. No. So they're not nearly as aggressive as a grizzly. But we got them. We got plenty of black bears.
Right,
not around the house. They're
proper
over on the base.
Proper dangerous.
Yeah, they're all over the base.
Crikey.
Exactly, Zimbo.
The only bear we get is the next door neighbour's bum when she's sunbathing.
Yikes.
Oops.
All right, I think we're closed, man. It looks like it's ready
it's
to go.
gone. It's closed. Right,
all right.
Let's do this.
All right, guys, you ready?
For the 10K.
This is it for the 10K. Winner is Ruse John. Nice. Congrats, Ruse John.
Congrats. I'll need your in-game name and your server on a whisper, mate. I'll whisper you now so you know my name. He knows my name.
Don't spend it all in one place, my friend. Or do, whatever.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah, rigged.
Rigged. Cool, well, I think that's about all I got. Pilgrims, anybody have any parting shots or questions before we shut this sucker down and move on with our days? You guys have a good Sunday. I'm going to go out, like I said, and pick up the last few piles, and that'll turn me into a sweaty mess.
Yeah, and then you'll just have to go and lie down somewhere, won't you?
Yep. Absolutely. Horrible thing.
We also wants to know if you got any good fish and chips. Well,
I did, man. I did, and I guess we talked about it earlier, but I went to the place called Parkgate, and there's
that's cool.
You're probably not allowed to say this, but it's essentially a Chinese chippy.
Yeah.
Which, if you know anything about fish and chips, for whatever reason, they make the best.
Yeah, isn't that weird? That weird? I mean, we always bang on about in the UK about English fish and chips are the best, but actually, they do make a really good one.
And at Parkgate, the thing is, I think what they have an element of the tempura in their batter. So it's extremely crispy, which is what's awesome about it. Whereas I know you've seen this obviously in some places, you get that kind of soggy breading.
Yeah, it's got to be crispy, man.
Thicker or soggy, and I just don't dig that. I went to a place in the town that's right outside of Malaise, and I guess the town's called Malaise, isn't it? It might be.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
And they got a cool little street that has a lot of little shops and restaurants, and there's a couple chippies on that. And the one I went into was okay, but it was more of that soggy kind of outside. Yeah. It didn't hold a candle to Parkgate's. It was so good.
Yeah. If you find a good one, we've got a good one here. It's called Rumbles. Not advertising because nobody will ever get here. but it's called Rumbles, and they do proper English fish and chips, crispy batter. They do all the sort of sides that go with it, like battered sausage and you name it. And the curry in the big pot has been in there for like 3 years.
Yeah.
They just keep adding to it.
Yeah.
That is proper
Fish and chips and curry and oh man.
Yeah.
And I had some.
Did you have mushy peas? Did you have mushy peas?
Not on purpose. One day,
Oh,
my wife talked me into sharing, and I didn't realize she'd put mushy. So I ate the peas around the edge, but a couple of them had mushy pea on it, which was a horrible experience and ruined it completely. No, it's fine. Like I said before, there's no real taste to it to me. It just doesn't do anything for me.
It's pretty much a visual thing, isn't it? There's nothing else with it. It's just green.
The perfect chip for me is a nice hot, still crispy one that has a little bit of vinegar on it, but not enough to make it soggy. And that's the problem when you pour vinegar on it; it starts to get them soggy. So it's that perfect point at which you have a little bit of vinegar and it's still crispy, and you eat it. That's like the perfect chip.
Absolutely, you've got it. You've nailed it. Nailed it. Absolutely.
And when you get to the bottom, now it's soggy, and you still eat them, but it's still good. But there's a beautiful point. There's the beautiful game of it is, and the fish is the same way when you put the vinegar on it.
Yeah.
When you get to the end, it's going to be a little soggier, but that early hot, crispy with some vinegar, like it doesn't get any better than that.
The trick is when you've done your salt and vinegar, and obviously you put your vinegar on after you put the salt on, because the salt will soak up some of the vinegar. So that's the trick. And then you get the hot vinegar starts to evaporate, and you get that aroma coming up with it. That's the trick, man. And it has to be in newspaper. All these fancy smancy boxes they do now, I take mine and transfer it into an old newspaper. And that's the proper way to eat fish and chips.
I didn't do that. See, you ever see a white county truck with a boom crane on your town? Yeah, man. Do you work for Panama City? Or is it a county truck? They are county trucks, aren't they? We have a city one, though, I think. I don't know if I've seen the county one. The city ones are run on gas, right? Natural gas, I think. Is yours the same one? Yeah, he's outside my house.
Grumpy stalks, Guido, yeah.
I will look for the county one if that's different than the city one. I see the city one all the time. Okay. I see the city one all the time because I constantly drop stuff out there on the sidewalk, right off the sidewalk. I'm in the Cove, man. Without giving away the exactly where I am, but I'm down in the Cove, which you probably don't get down there very much. I'll keep an eye out for him, and I'll wave, dude. Awesome. Look for the Ford F-150 honking. You'll know that's me.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I think that's it, man.
I think we're done. I've run out of tea.
Yeah, I'm down to the end of my coffee, and I need to go sort out the rest of my garden, lawn, yard.
Yeah.
Called it all the things I think I could.
You got work to do.
All right, fellas. I think hopefully I will be doing a stream sometime this week. If you don't see it before, it'll be Friday. It's funny you say that just around midnight. I've been a Chevy guy most of my life, which is probably going to make you think less of me. My dad was a Chevy guy. I mean, I love Corvettes. I had a Camaro, definitely a Chevy guy. But I will say that this F-150 I have is the best. Yeah, so have I, really, at the end of the day. But because my wife's got an old used Lexus, which I love. We bought super used, but it's awesome. Got one of the new ones or one of the old ones? The old ones are cool. I had a Blazer. I had the full-size Blazer before it was called a whatever they called it. New? Nice. I've heard mixed things about that. How's yours doing? I know people have had some issues with those early on. 250. Nice. Yeah, I've got a 2013, I think. But I love it. It's a great truck, man. Oh man. How'd you get a new truck? They're like $800 million right now. Holy crap, they're expensive. All right, cool. A Renault. That is all I've got, man. Anything else? Parting shots, Pilgrim?
I'm done. We've had a good coffee talk. The first one back off vacation.
Ford Maverick. I actually drove a 1974 lime green Chevy Vega as my first car. Just put that in your mind. All right, that's all I've got. We'll see you guys later. Guido signing off from the left side of the Atlantic.
Pilgrim signing off from the correct side of the Atlantic. Take care.
See you guys.